G'day there, podcaster. Show of the year, I'd say.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think that should be the new thing we say at the start of.
Yeah, for
Unless
at least,
it's like a really bad one.
yeah, for at least a month.
At least.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Even if it's bad?
No, if it's really bad, we won't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there was some fun bits in that.
Can I say as well, sorry to jump in, I do think this was the best show of the week.
I
liked
liked
it.
it.
Yes,
I
yes,
liked
yes.
I liked the story about how you got in a little bit of trouble in the
Yes.
holidays, Ben. We
Yep.
also got some people's stories that some were BS, some weren't. Belle told an outrageous story. Cannot be real, but we'll find that out a little bit later on.
Previously on Ben, Liam and Belle.
Me and my wife, we were driving back from my daughter's place. We saw two guys pulling out the old body in the carpet trick. The next day on the news, they fished out a body out of the Georges River.
And then you called it in?
No, we didn't call it in.
And now, live across Australia, this is Ben, Liam and Belle.
Maybe it's just two guys late at night throwing a carpet in the river. Yeah. I sometimes do that as well.
Good evening, Australia. It's a Thursday night. You're hanging out with your mates Ben, Liam and Belle, and we do this.
Have you ever touched this? Have you touched
The Oval Office. It's been redecorated. Obviously, Trump's in now. He's got the famous Diet Coke button back on the desk.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a joke. Is that a real
No,
thing?
that's a real thing. Yeah,
Wow.
he presses that button, and it's actually dangerous because it's right next to the nuclear warhead button. So if he's busy, is he punching off a few texts and feeling like a DC? He misses it. Gee whiz,
Oh
Do you know in the White House there's 42 toilets?
that's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of toilets.
Oh, is that? Yeah, it's pretty big though. That's
Massive,
fair.
yeah.
You wouldn't want to go in after Donald,
Not after all that DC.
don't you reckon?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm glad they got 42 because if everyone else working there, it's no, Donald used that one on Wednesday. I'd give it a minute. Yeah, fair. I'll take the 37th toilet then. Have you touched the Oval Office? I mean, in the past we've done Have You Touched the World Cup? Done Have You Touched the North Pole? Have you touched Elon Musk?
Do they how would someone have touched it? Do they do tours? Is there a way?
You could have stormed the Capitol on Jan 6th.
Yes.
You could.
Yes.
Imagine if that guy with the big moose head called up. Remember him? He was wearing that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trump's pardoned them all now as well.
Yeah,
So they're out and about. Or maybe you just got an award, like a presidential award. I don't know. We've already got a call on 13 24 10. Nev in Sydney, have you touched the Oval Office?
Good evening, team. Well, not quite, but I got close. I did a tour of the White House, so I've touched the White House.
Yeah.
But I almost didn't even get in there. I kept setting off the metal detector on the way in, and we couldn't figure out what it was. Took everything out of my pockets. Ended up being a chewing gum wrapper that kept setting it off. So I almost didn't even get to touch the White House.
Yeah, right. I mean, they're very sensitive. If chewing gum wrapper can take it off.
Hey Nev,
Certainly was.
did you use any of the toilets?
I don't remember. I may have. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, look, Nev, because you're our first call tonight, I'm going to give you a double pass to go see Companion in cinemas January 30.
Oh, awesome. Thank you very much.
No worries at all. We have got plenty more prizes to give away tonight. We're doing Have You Touched the Oval Office?
Georgia in Melbourne, you've touched it?
Hello.
Hey, Georgia, have you touched it?
I haven't touched the White House or the Oval Office, but I've touched Ivanka Trump's hands, and I feel like that's close enough.
Yeah, I mean, we can't accept it, but it is. It's still pretty cool. When did you touch Ivanka's hand?
In 2019, I worked for the House of Representatives as an intern.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
So she came into the representative I was working for office, and I met her, and we shook hands and had a chat.
Wow.
Look, it's close to the pin. We can't take it as a win, but thank you, Georgia.
I think if I was going to meet any of the kids, it would be Barron.
Yeah.
I like my suitcase.
Pete in Brizzy, have you touched the Oval Office?
Me too, not exactly the Oval Office, but when I was visiting the White House, I was outside and I leant through the fence, picked some grass, and took some White House grass away with me.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, but like, still, it's like no one's like. Surely someone's been in there, right?
Well,
Yeah?
I'm fascinated, Pete, that you actually got away with that. I feel like if you did that, they'd swarm you and come and like see what you're doing.
No, say what you really want to say. What would they do to you if you put your hand through the fence?
Adam in Sydney, have you been in the Oval Office?
I sure have.
Yeah.
What?
Yep, I've sat down at the desk. I've picked up the phone.
What?
I met Trump. I
What?
touched Trump, and I've got photos to prove it.
Adam, who are you?
I was just a tourist.
Hang on. So you're a tourist, and what? You got into the actual Oval Office and you met Donald Trump?
Yep, I met him. He didn't say much. He was a bit cold because he was in wax.
Oh, yeah, come on.
He was what?
Yeah, the wax.
He went to Madame Tussauds.
The Wax Museum in New York.
Yeah. God damn it.
Okay.
You had us going.
Adam.
You had us going. And it's really upsetting. It's really upsetting when someone teases you like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a big old failure, really.
Yeah.
We had people, Ivanka, like one of the, no.
There are still pretty cool stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a pass.
No, it's a loss this week. I mean, unless anyone comes through last minute, I mean, we're not taking that.
Yeah.
You like that feeling in your ear holes? That's the Ben, Liam and Bell podcast.
And yesterday at this time, we were talking all about sibling rivalries. And a girl called Charli has gotten in touch after listening to that. Now, Charli, we've been told that you have an incredible family tradition that actually pits you against your siblings. We are so excited to hear about this. Charli, what is this tradition?
My parents, I'm one of 6 kids, and we're all between 19 and 27 or 28 now. And my parents each year host the Best Kids Award, and there are reasons of why you get deducted points of whatever bad behaviour you have throughout the year, whether you drunk too much, whatever story comes up with, and why you can gain points. So you all start on 100, and we get a trophy, and it's a full, 3-course formal attire event.
I love that.
That's actually awesome.
So how many siblings?
I'm one of 6.
One of 6.
So
who's winning at the moment?
So we don't get told, literally don't get told anything until the awards night, but there's a lot of foul play. So if someone's out drinking too much and you're with siblings, which we always are, then you'll film it and send it to
Yeah, wow.
So you know this is what's happening, or if they get in a fight at footy or something, then it's always recorded and sent to parents, and then it's like a full down slideshow. When you lost points, when you gained points, it's a full ordeal.
Charli,
so
is it one trophy that's then handed over, or how does it work?
And so you lose the trophy each year, it goes back the week beforehand, and then it gets re-awarded.
And Charli, how many times have you held up the trophy?
I've won twice in 5 years. So I'm not bad.
It's pretty good.
Are mum and dad getting tricky with it? Do they sort of do the point system a little bit like Dumbledore does at the end of the year? And one sibling will think they've won, and then they'll go, but 5 points deducted, and 100 points awarded to Charli for sheer bravery this year.
Absolutely, but then little things. So mum awarded the winner, and then dad took it off, and dad was like, "I disagree with your mum's opinion. I didn't care that this happened, goes back to this person." And they go over each other.
I'm the dad of this house.
Yeah.
I get the final say.
Also, I love the formal attire. Just the cherry on top.
It does actually seem like a fun thing. Obviously, there's one dud kid who misses out every year.
And it is quite toxic.
Yeah. But apart from that, fun. Seems fun.
If you put on our podcast as you go to sleep, this one's for you.
13, 24, 10. Did you get caught in a lie? If you got caught in a lie, give us a buzz. Liam and Bell, I went to Santa's Wonderland in December. This was before Christmas with my wife Sam and my son Freddie. Now, in December, Freddie was 16 months old. It's not even 1.5 yet. And at Santa's Wonderland, there's tons of rides for the kids. It's great. I loved it. Unfortunately, you can't go on any of the rides if you're 2 years or under. And there was this little train ride that Freddie really wanted to go on. And Sam said, I wish we could take him on it. And I said, well, why not? I'm not going to ask a baby for ID.
Who's going to know? There's no such thing as a little baby driver's license.
Exactly. So we lined up, and they're loading everybody on. And then, hand in the chest,
whoa! The
lady at the front stops us. And she says, there's no way he's 2. And I said, yeah, sure he is. He's 2.
Late
two.
bloomer.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? You're saying he looks weird for a 2-year-old?
Yeah, I said, he is. He's 2. And she said, I'm a mum of 4. I know what a 2-year-old looks like. Now, at this point, I was too deep into my lie to back out, so I had to stick to my guns. And I said, yeah, he just had his 2nd birthday. And she said, what's his birthday then? Now, at this point, I'm not great at maths, and I panicked, and I tried to adjust his birthday and do quick math at the same time. So in the heat of the moment, I said, because I thought this would make him old enough, I said December 7th, 2021. And she said, so he's 3.
The years to shoot by, they go up so fast, don't they? That has... I mean, that would freak me out. I mean, normally it's when you're like 17 and you're trying to blag your way into a nightclub and they're like, what's your star sign? You're like, But I didn't think you'd have to do it like as a 31-year-old man.
The thing that I love, though, was because when the birthday debacle happened and I said, yeah, she knew I wasn't giving in. And I swear, she said, at this point, she said, whatever, I don't get paid enough. Just go.
And you're like, so true. So true. What's the worst that can happen?
And she's trying to feed 4 kids at home. Honestly, she doesn't care.
Like the screaming kids in this thing all day. Just whatever. Just get on there.
Did you get caught in a lie? 13 24 10 is our number. Claire in Sydney, tell us what happened.
Hey guys. So when I was about 7 or 8, I convinced a girl at my school that I was secretly a real life princess. And that on the weekends I lived in a mansion and I was dropped off at school in a limo every day, and she believed it.
Yeah, so you were sort of, you'd obviously seen Princess Diaries, and you were sort of you know, made up like a fake European country that you were the princess of. Did you ever get caught out, you know, driving to school in Mum's Kluger?
Yeah, I did. So one time, a couple of weeks after this, I had a birthday party and I invited her over. But I told her that the castle was being, like, it had burned down.
Oh, no!
I was at my friend's house instead.
Yeah.
And then she met my parents and told them all about it, and they told me that I had to tell her that I'd been lying to her the entire time.
Oh, that's awful.
Charlotte in Melbourne, your brother and you got caught in a lie. What happened?
Yeah, well, it was one of the times that the Queen came to Australia for Fed Square, and all of the kids were, like, taken over the barrier to bow and curtsy, which was very, very exciting. And then when we got back to our parents asked what happened, and both me and my brother just went, oh, we shook the Queen's hand,
So cool, yeah.
And, yeah, and we were really excited, and our parents were telling all their friends, and like, oh, my gosh, yeah, our kids shook the Queen's hand. And then I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks later, we got sat down by our dad and just went, you didn't shake the Queen's hand. And he was like, no, we swear we did. And he was just like, no, you didn't. My work colleague has said, no, that just would not have happened. And we got in big trouble because they had to...
Hang on, Charlotte. I thought there was going to be like video footage or something like on the TV they could see, but he's just believing, well, my work colleague said you couldn't have, so my kids are liars.
I love that in the first place you lied when you didn't need to, but you just were excited. And then the disappointment, it sounds like, from your dad.
Yeah. I was telling Greg, and I was in line for promotion, kids. You were finally going to go to that school we always wanted to send you to. But now I've been branded as the office jester, and we'll never get out of here, all because of your dirty lies.
Thank you, Charlotte. Kirby in Sydney, your daughter got caught in a lie.
She did. In Canada, lunch is provided in school, and she told the school she was allergic to mayonnaise. So they changed all of the menu and then phoned me to let me know that they had changed it, nothing should happen, I let them know she's not allergic.
She just hates it?
So they changed it for
She's always hated it.
Did they change it for
25 years old.
Entire school or just for her?
Yes. Yeah, the lunch program covers the whole school.
Scrubbed it off. Just hundreds of kids.
Wow.
Yeah, huge inconvenience. Amber, what about you? You got caught in a lie?
Hello, yes, I am in the middle of an 11-year lie.
Oh, no.
Oh, Amber.
So when I was in my uni days, I thought it would be really cool to tell my friends that I was gluten-free. And I took it to the next level, so I made sure that all the food I ate was gluten-free. always spoke about it. I just thought it was such a fun thing. And
Yeah, I'm celiac. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I shit myself if I eat gluten.
yeah.
Yeah, if I have white bread, it's the rest of the days are gone.
It was back when gluten-free things tasted really bad and they were really hard to get.
Yeah.
And it got so deep that when I would go to my friends' houses, their parents would go out of their way to get me special gluten-free items. And now, 11 years later, all my uni friends still think I'm gluten-free because I can't tell them that it was a lie. It just went on for too long.
Why? Like, why?
She
What
said
do
she
you
thought
get
it was
out
cool.
of this? But what?
I don't know. I just thought it was a talking point. Like, I'm a bit, I was a bit shy. It was just something to bring up at the table. I thought it made me really cool and different.
GF, you might think that's girlfriend. It's actually not. It's gluten-free, which is what I am.
I bet you can't keep a mewing streak for this whole podcast. Oi, stop gooning. The next bit's about to start.
The Currency Quiz!
Justine in Melbourne, you just came off a 10-hour shift. I bet 15K would make you feel a bit better.
Oh, it would be amazing.
Alrighty.
It was a big day.
It was a big day, I bet. Now, we don't know what currency that 15,000 is going to be in yet. We'll find that out at the end. But first of all, let's get through these 3 questions. School is going back at the moment. What was your Year 12 score?
My Year 12 score was in 97.
Oh, my God. I mean, that's like genius level. Wow, big brain. Okay, the doomsday clock has moved 1 second closer to disaster this week. What is 1,400 hours in 12-hour time?
That is 2 p.m.
It's good. I mean, you've put the pressure on yourself now. You've told us you're a genius. You've let slip, so you need to get all these right, you know? Last question here. This is for 15,000 of a currency we have not yet specified. Tomorrow is the last day of January. What season is it next month?
Next month it will be still summer.
She's done it. She's done it. 15,000,
Bit of a curly one there at the end.
It was, but you switched on even after that long shift. You've still got your bearings. Yeah, no, all right, Justine. Well, let's spin the wheel and find out what you're going to be getting it in. My fingers are crossed. The British pounds or the US dollar. 15,000. Argentinian Pesso.
I'll take it.
Let's convert it.
If you get over to South America, you'll be taking $22.94 Australian.
I'll still take it.
Oh, good on you, Justine.
Thank you.
No
Thank
worries.
you so much.
Get yourself a Big Mac meal on the way home after that long shift.
Dude, you're a locked-in Sigma with plus 1,000 aura.
We all know Jojo Siwa. She taught us that calm as a bee. Really putting her genius to waste with music, if you ask me, because turns out she has an incredible genius-like mind, according to her. She was recently on this podcast. Just have a listen to this.
I'm a very unique case. The more you get to know me, the more you're like, yo, your brain's being studied when you kick the can. Because what is different in there? And it's something that I don't try to like prove to people that my brain's different, but it does work in very different ways.
Built different.
Did she say that scientists are going to study her brain?
Yeah.
When she passes away?
Wouldn't it be great, if only they got Einstein's brain and were able to see in it, and, what is this sort of genius level? We can only hope that when Jojo Siwa unfortunately passes away at some point, we can study her brain. She actually goes on to explain how her brain is so different.
Having a girlfriend at the time who was in high school when I should have been in high school, but I was already graduated, she did this math problem and she was like, answer this. And she tried to make a really hard Albert Einstein problem. And I did it. And she was like, how'd you get that answer? And I was like, well, I just did. Like, I don't know. And she was like, well, show me your work. So I showed her how I did it. And she was like, I've never seen someone solve a math problem like that. And I was like, but did I get the answer? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, great. Can we move on with our life?
We just move on with our lives. I'm just a genius. I just, I see an equation, bang.
I love
If I was
Jojo.
around earlier, I would have discovered gravity. I just wasn't around then.
I love Jojo, but this is disappointing.
Oh, man. Anyone
Jojo.
pumping their tyres that hard
It
needs
is-
to have a good hard look at themselves.
It's absolute bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
That is some BS.
The BS meter is ringing off the charts on that one.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to think we have a good one here. In fact, that's what I want to do this evening. 13, 24, 10. Come on, tell us a story, and we'll guess if it's BS or not.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Can I try one on you guys first to kick it off?
Yeah. We'll see whether, we'll see if we're talking BS ourselves or if we can really pick it.
All right. So, okay, I got told this yesterday by a friend of mine. He said that he knows a guy that went to a music festival over the summer. It was really, really hot there, and he actually passed out from heat stroke, then, went unconscious completely. They airlifted him to the city, to the hospital. He died. They tried to resuscitate him, and he didn't come back to life. Then
So he's dead?
Yeah, no, then he came back to life while he was in the coma, woke up.
So he never died then. He was in a coma.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Then woke up and said, I'll just go back to the music festival. Got in an Uber, left the hospital without anyone knowing. Got in an Uber,
no
went back to the festival, and then his mates thought he'd died, and he rocked up.
No, the BS meter is going off on that.
I'm back, lads. I'm back. Put me in an induced coma. I've taken so many drugs that didn't even work. It didn't have any effect on me because I'm such a legend. Should we head to main stage?
We have got the BS meter out tonight and we want to use it. 13 24 10 is our number. Maybe it's true, maybe it's BS. I don't know. You tell it to us and we'll see if we can pick it. Got a prize up for grabs as well if you get involved.
Gemma in Sydney, what happened?
So I was 8 years old at a public speaking competition, and I ran into the bathroom to throw up due to nerves. I had the microphone in my hand still, so the audience of roughly 200 people could hear me throwing up. I come out of the bathroom and realised that they're laughing because they've heard me throw up, but also because I ran into the male bathroom.
Yeah, it's a double whammy. I mean, it's such a tall story, but I don't know. I think I believe you.
I believe you as well.
It is true. This actually happened.
Yeah, you could tell. And there was a bit of pain behind your voice. You know what I mean? No, that's a great story though, Jem. Adam in Melbourne, what happened to you?
Hey guys. So I was a kid in primary school playing stupidly at schoolyard, and I spear tackled a kid so hard that he actually couldn't move, unfortunately, on the ground. And we obviously got pretty scared, so we told the teacher. The teachers called paramedics. Paramedics came, took him away. They did a full body check. They found out that he was okay, but they actually found a blockage in his heart, and they sort of said he could have dropped dead within a couple of days. And if I didn't tackle him, he wouldn't have come to hospital, which means he probably would have died.
Hang on, let me get the BS meter out.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out. That's BS.
Bullshit.
Is that BS, Adam?
No, it's actually true, and I ended up winning one of the most prestigious awards at school.
Have you ever speared someone so hard that you killed them and brought them back to life in the same day?
And then won an award.
Yeah.
The award is too far because you didn't do it to save him. You were actually being a dick.
Yeah, you were trying to inflict some pain on the guy, but then
His parents came, shook my hand. They were bowing down.
Thank you for attacking my child.
Thank you for being a bully.
We found that clot, but his neck is broken, though, unfortunately.
But the heart's strong.
Courtney joins us in Adelaide now. Tell us your story. We'll tell you if it's BS or not.
Okay, so it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago. I was with my dad in rural Melbourne. We couldn't find our way back to our hotel. We were on a dirt road. We seen a hitchhiker who literally had no shoes on, crazy hair and feral clothes. We thought he probably knows, how to get back to the hotel or point us in the right direction. And he said, if you can take me to the expressway, I'll be able to point you in the right direction. He was in the car for about 10 minutes. We got to the expressway. He got out and bolted. And then when we finally watched the news that night, he'd actually robbed a servo and tried to stab a lady with a knife.
Yeah, I mean, my only thing with that is... Bullshit. If someone had crazy hair and tatty clothes, I mean, you gave quite a grim description of this fella.
No,
So-
it's actually true. We did pick a hitchhiker up and he did try to
You
stab
did?
somebody.
Whoa. Oh, so, I mean, it sounds like BS because it's like, why? If you saw someone, you're like, oh, they're not quite right. I mean, why would you pick them up? It's so dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah, case in point, when he attempted to stab
Well,
somebody.
yeah, the whole stab thing.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Courtney, I'm glad you're okay.
Well, Chrissy joins us now in Sydney. What's your story?
First of all, I just want to say best radio station in Sydney, hands down.
Oh, thanks, Chrissy.
Thanks, Chrissy. Appreciate
So,
it.
my husband, who is a TV cameraman, flew on Air Force One with Barack Obama.
Yeah, let's get the BS meter on that. I think we believe it. Yep. Yeah, that seems real.
Absolutely, it's legit.
Chrissy, why did he specifically get to fly on it?
So he was the cameraman for ABC America at the time.
And did he actually get to meet Obama or just be on the same plane?
He did. He got to meet him on Air Force One.
Right. Did you say he was a good
flew
bloke?
He flew from, yes, absolutely. He flew from Darwin to Bali for the summit.
I mean, that's so funny. The idea of Barack Obama boarding a flight in Darwin for Bali, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming back with the, the braids in his hair.
That's cool.
Good on you, Chrissy. Thank you so much for calling.
The Ben, Liam and Bell podcast.
Up next, Smallsy is opening up the surgery and he's got your last-minute tickets to go see Drake.
Made this here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose. Yeah, jump out, boys.
Anita Maxwin.
Do you remember, Liam, you once on the radio, you said that Drake and Travis Scott's Sicko Mode was the queen of our generation, and you got quite a
There
bit
was
of
the
online hate
Bohemian
for it.
Rhapsody of our generation.
I saw some. That was on years ago when we worked for another radio station, and they did a hot countdown with 100 songs in it around this time of the year. And I actually saw a post recently on it, and so it was like, oh, remember when he said that? And, people were like, and I was like, no, a great opportunity to clear it up. I read a text. Okay, I read a text that someone else sent in. I wasn't making the claim myself, but I've never lived it down.
It's the Bohemian Rhapsody of our generation.
Yeah, because I read the text.
I was on air with you, and I remember that you back announced it, and you said that's the Bohemian Rhapsody of our generation.
Yeah, I was copying some heat for it just recently. I'm like, that was in, I think, 2018. So that's how long ago that was.
Hey, Smallsy is going to be joining you up next. As Belle said, he's got your last chance tickets to go see Drake. And to get you there, it's Post Malone. Liam, what would you compare him to?
I would say he's like the Bob Dylan, of our generation.
And that's it.
Like that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam and Bell.